I'm the senior director for the technical team here in our shared service operations for Latin America.
Wow. Okay.
Used to work long time with mergers and acquisitions and all the integration process in different places with Walmart. So, and then eventually I just relocated to Costa Rica, and I'm based here now.
Because Tizoc's been in this store a couple of times.
Yes, I used to live there in Bentonville for quite some time, and then I never knew about Explore Scientific until after I was out of Bentonville, or I would have started much sooner with you guys.
Thank you for jumping in spur of the moment, Tizoc. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Kent. Sorry for my English; it's not my native language, and
Your English is fine.
Perfect.
Sorry about that.
Your English is far superior than my Espanol.
And by the way, just in front of everybody, I just want to thank Kent. I've known him in person and with all his service. And thank you.
Well,
sometimes share stuff with him and that I'm very happy with my scope. So take care of it. Really nice.
We appreciate your business and the things you have to say about us. Thank you. It humbles us. I'm just looking at the cost to fly down there. It's $300 to $400.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to San Jose.
That's cheap right now. Well, is it San Jose in California or San Jose, Costa Rica?
Costa Rica. Yeah, Costa Rica.
I want to go to California.
From XNA, that's really cheap.
That's this is on Kayak. I'm looking to see if that's really what it really is. Really is. This is okay. Yeah. $614 round trip.
Mm-hmm.
That one just disappeared. Here's one on XNA to SJO, $438.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad right now. Really.
I'm surprised because that's like spring break type of.
Hello, everyone. This is Scott Roberts from Explore Scientific and the Explorer Alliance. And today on our show on Focus on Astrophotography, we have a special guest all the way down from Costa Rica, Tizoc Suarez. And he is, we are finding out that Tizoc used to live in Northwest Arkansas and worked in Bentonville, which is just down the road from us. But now he's making an incredible astrophotography down in Central America, and we're really happy to have him on the show. Tizoc, I'm going to take the spotlight off of me and put us in gallery view so everybody can see who's on with us today. We've got Annie Scarborough, the Explorer Alliance manager here. We've got Tyler Bowman, who does Focus on Astrophotography, is our host. Kent Martz, who's done many, many shows with us, currently doing First Light Chronicles and On the Wing. And then Tizoc, who's got a great internet connection, which is great, and is going to blow our minds with some amazing astrophotography. But Kent, what's the story, and how did you and Tizoc connect?
I connect with a lot of people. I walked in the store when he came in the front door, and he was looking for a telescope, and I believe we settled on a FCD 100 127 carbon fiber. Isn't that right, Tizoc? Settled on a FCD 100 127 carbon fiber. Isn't that right, Tizoc? Oh, Tizoc?
Yes.
We're getting a weird echo from somewhere.
Yeah. Tizoc, you're probably watching the replay of it. And if you do that, you have to turn down all the audio off of that. Otherwise, we get an echo.
Okay.
I think we're okay now. There we go. Okay. So we I sold him a FCD 100. We shipped it down there to him. Got a field flattener, and he's been doing fantastic work. He blesses me every couple of times a month. I'll see his name pop up in my email, and it'll make me smile because I'll know there's probably going to be a really nice astro photograph there. And he sent me that this afternoon and is like, oh, let's get him on the show. Luckily, he was available and is going to bless everyone with some really nice photos. Now, Tizoc, you've not been doing this like years and years. This is a fairly new venture for you, right?
Well, astrophotography as astro, not that much, I guess, like 2 years. I've always liked astronomy since my dad, and probably you see like a very old Meade LX 200 8-inch. That was my dad's like 40 years ago. And ever since my dad passed away, I've been carrying that around wherever I've been living. And I sometimes use it. I don't have the mount that goes with that, but I switched to a different mount, so I still use it for observing. But I never did engage in astrophoto until like 2 years ago. I've been doing more bird photography and landscape and all of that. But yeah, I guess the last 2 years, not being able to travel that much, just traveling, looking up, and that engaged me a lot. And with your products, fantastic.
So let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Started with a William Optics that probably you see here behind me. And that one I enjoy also a lot. And I started playing around with that. And then after seeing a lot of Chucks and Astro Backyard and many of the guys on YouTube trying to learn here and there, I thought about you guys, especially because every time I went back to Bentonville for meetings or whatever, I just went window shopping with you guys until I eventually got my new toy.
So show us what your new toy can do.
What it can do?
Yeah, pictures.
Okay, pictures. Let me
Now,
see.
you live in Bortle 6 skies, right? So you don't have dark skies.
You want to
No.
show, Kent, do you want to show kind of where he lives?
Give me a second.
Sure. Yeah, it's Bortle 6, 7 type Bortle. There are a couple of places that get up to Bortle 3 here in Costa Rica, but typically around 2-3 hours away in the mountains. But here in the city, it's not that good. It's about 1.5 million people, San Jose here in Costa Rica. So it's quite noisy.
So we're going to zoom in. And where was it? I've lost it.
It's more to the right. More to the right. Further to the right. A little more. Almost there. A little. If you go down, well, up a little further up, and zoom. Zoom in.
That,
yeah, it's right there. Almost to the center.
Santa Rita, right? There it is.
Santa Rita, but it's very close by.
Yeah. Okay, close enough. So
yeah, close enough. It's a little further up, but I know. Yeah, it's close enough.
Right here. So 5 to 6. So not super bad skies, especially to your west. You're looking out into some more darkness, west and southwest. So I'll stop sharing and show us some of your pictures.
Okay. Let me see if you can. This one I took last night. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here in Costa Rica, we're going through presidential elections. Even though I cannot vote, my wife and my daughter are from Costa Rica and they both vote. And there was like this big debate between all the candidates. And in the meantime that the debate was going on, I thought, okay, I'll put my toy outside and take on the rosette. I've always liked that one and try it again and again with Explore Scientific 127. I do use Optolong filters. In this one in particular, I used the L Extreme. And this shot is 30 shots of 300 seconds each, and I process everything in PixInsight. So this is one very recent that I took. If you want to take a look, another one. This past week I took. Let me see if you can see. This one, give me 1 second. Can you see the Dolphin Nebula?
Yes.
This one is much fainter, right? If you all know about this one, is SH2308, and it's much fainter. So this is about 7 hours, also with the Explore Scientific and L Extreme filter from my backyard. So it's this one is more challenging. So this is my first try at this one. So that's just a couple. Another example, I guess this one, this one is the Seagull Nebula. About a couple of weeks ago, also like 60 shots of 300 seconds each. So again, I'm still learning on the processing side. As you know, there are multiple ways to use PixInsight and try to extract the most out of everything. So I'm still learning a lot, and but again, that's where I'm at in my journey. Here in Costa Rica, I don't know if you were able to see the comet Leonard in December. I was able to go to the mountains for year end, and I got a bunch of different photos. All of these I took with with William Optics, much smaller, because it was. Remember, I think I sent you one of these.
You did, yes.
Yeah, that I didn't know what this weird thing in the middle was, but
just
yeah,
a processing artifact. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, something like that. So I try a bunch of different things here and there. I tried the Spaghetti Nebula. Also, it's another challenging target that I've been trying for a couple of years now, and I still don't have what I would like to have. So I'll just keep going at it and practicing again and trying new things, right?
So I was just looking up the latitude of where you're at. You're at basically 10 degrees, 9.8 or something like that, right?
We're almost 10 north.
Right.
So yeah, so we have some targets that may be more difficult for you guys in the north. Well, this one is very typical, right? So yeah, the horse head, but some of the southern targets, I guess, that are more challenging for you guys might be like Carina Nebula or something like that. You may not see that often. Let me see some of these. Well, this is the flame.
What camera are you using with your scopes?
I'm using a CWO, the 071 camera.
Okay.
And I'm just learning on that one as well. I guess, well, this is the monkey head nebula. I'm just trying here and there different things, but I was trying to look for the like probably is more out
Tizoc,
of your.
On the monkey head, there's no stars. Did you use a star extinguisher to make them go away?
Yes, I'm processing everything on my Mac, and my Mac doesn't run the StarNet++, so I'm using Star Exterminator to remove the stars, and it's working pretty good. I tried both, the StarNet++ and the Star Exterminator, and I think they both pretty much do the job. But yeah, I always try both starless and leave the stars, just to try different things on the more detail on the detailed parts of the nebulas.
We have another question from Gorky watching on Facebook. He says, what filter do you consider is the best for light pollution?
Well, I guess it depends on what you're trying to do. And I'm no expert in these. I have up along the L Pro, the L Enhance, and the L Extreme. The L Extreme works really well. But for example, you cannot use like the L Enhance or L Extreme on galaxies, right? You need to use just a regular L Pro or just light pollution filter on galaxies, or you will miss out a lot of the details. And but for nebulas, I would highly recommend narrower filters. Again, not being expert.
Now, see, Scott, some of the issue that you're going to run into is, I believe Tizoc's using, the 071 is the one-shot color.
It's a one-shot.
So he's able to use the L Extreme, the L Enhance, and then L Pro you can use for a monochrome. But I think those particular filters serve best with a one-shot color camera compared to a monochrome camera. I'm not sure how well those filters would do with a monochrome camera. They're not specifically designed for monochrome. They're more designed for one-shot colors. So just in case you are in a heavily light polluted area like Tizoc is, and we are here in Springdale, even my backyard, I use the L Extreme or the L Enhance. So it just kind of knocks out all the light pollution and boosts all the red channel, the HA, the H beta, and some of the O3, depending on which filter you use. So that's a good question. But there's really, I would say that there's no good reason why you couldn't use any filter. they all have their pros and cons. To me, the L Extreme shows a lot more reds than the L Enhance. The L Enhance kind of gives you an equal balance of the HA and the O3, so it brings out some of the blues, especially like in the Veil Nebula, the Eastern, the Witch's Broom. It brings out more of the blue in those. So it really, do some research if you can on where you shoot, and grab a filter and see which one will work. Because there, Tizoc, you just showed there was the Eastern and Western Veil Nebula, the whole thing. Show that one real quick. And I'm assuming this was done with the which filter, the Enhance or the Extreme?
The Enhance. I didn't have.
You can see more of the blues in this specific nebulae. Now with the L Extreme, you wouldn't see as much of the blues. You'd see more bluish green, I guess I should say. You see more of the red. It bring out more of the red contrast compared to the bluish green that's in there. So it all comes down to mainly personal preference and what you want to do and what you want to shoot. If you want more reds, I mean, you could always go with the L Extreme. If you want some more blues, you can go with an L Enhance. But that's the beauty thing about astrophotography is it's kind of personal preference and what you want to do. And of course, you can always modify it in post-processing and boost the saturation of each color. So
absolutely, and you're absolutely right. I'm using a one-shot color camera, so I haven't switched and don't plan to switch to a mono. Here in Costa Rica, one of the things I didn't mention is we have pretty good weather all year round, but we have 2 seasons, right? And I always tell this to the local people. We have the rainy season and the extremely rainy season, right? So we don't have that much dry. We do, but like typically from December through, I guess, May, it's the dry season. And that's when I try to learn and practice the most. And then it's raining and raining and raining. Then you see Costa Rica's rainforest, right? So they give you a hint right there in the name that you'll expect rain because it's going to be green, right? So I'm as of now still sticking to the one-shot color camera, and you're right. These filters work best for that type of scenario. And probably the only thing that I would differ is on the colors. I guess it all depends on how you process. Again, these that I took last night with the L Extreme, with the process that I followed, which was one that was recommended by, I don't know if you follow Quiv, the lazy geek, the guy from Japan. I followed his process, and it did give me all of these blues and nice colors that I actually wanted to achieve long time ago. And in the Rosette Nebula with the L Enhance, I always got just the red and orange type tones, right? I guess it was more because of the processing than the filters themselves. I guess that's just my thoughts. Not sure what else I can show you.
How often do you go shooting?
Every time that I can, I guess. Like this week has been clear most of the week, and I just I'm still practicing with the new scope, Kent, to be honest with you. It did get me to rethink a lot of the way that I balanced that scope with the mount and everything, because my tracking was sometimes not really good, and then I had to throw away a lot of things in the next morning. So right now I'm trying to babysit from Meridian flipped and everything, that it's okay and it doesn't go off. It's a light, I'm using a iWatcher EQ6R Pro mount, so it handles the weight well, but if it's not balanced right, it won't work, right? So I'm trying to practice that better with a heavier scope, and every night that is clear, I leave the rig outside and just ask my wife a little, hey, I'm going to spend some time outside, and I'll go back in a little while, but as often as I can, because this thing is about practice, right? Is you get passionate about this, and you have to practice, and start over and keep learning.
What's been the biggest challenge?
I don't know. It's a nice question, but I guess it's trying not to run with too many things at the same time, right? And it's everything. If you try to do too many changes to improve, then you don't know if it improved, what worked and what didn't work.
That's the scientific process. Change. You know, I'll talk to customers who they said, well, I was having this problem, so I did this and this and this. And I said, okay, which one did you do first? And they'll say, oh, I did them all. And it's like, well, you can't do that. You have to do one thing at a time. Yep.
So you said you use PixInsight to process the pictures, but you're in Lightroom. So do you process the pictures and then upload them to Lightroom and do some more adjusting on that?
Very little. I try not to do. Basically, I use Lightroom as a catalog for all our pictures, landscape and bird photography and everything. I like the way I've been using Lightroom for a long time. So I before PixInsight, I did use not much Photoshop, but tried just to different ways to stack and process the images, and then do all the tweaking in Lightroom. But then I switched to PixInsight and tried to do everything there and just store them in Lightroom. I don't do much retouching. I used to, but probably now I try to do everything in PixInsight better.
Cool.
So do you share any with your neighbors? Do you let neighbors come look at, set it up and let them look at, the planets or the moon or something?
Well, here it's interesting that in the where we live is a condo. We don't have a lot of neighbors, and we have some room around. But there's a different group of astronomy and astrophotography guys here in Costa Rica. So we share a lot of our learnings and things, and we go out sometimes to different places, to dark places, like camping or staying overnight or whatever, and share our practices within us. Some take like big dobs for viewing. Some of us like more the photography, but it's more like sharing and both imaging and processing and everything we can do to learn. And there's very passionate people in our group. It's called Latitude 10 Astrophotography here in Costa Rica.
That's a cool name.
Great. And would you say that Costa Rica has a vibrant amateur astronomy community, or is it there's just a few, or
well, there's several. I don't know exactly how many, but it's growing. I guess like I didn't see before many channels in YouTube, but it's been growing a lot, right? I don't know of any channels on YouTube from Costa Rica, but there's definitely a bunch of different guys that are like way beyond what I'm doing now, and they're probably, I don't know, dobs are used for visual, right? Some of these guys are taking pictures with dobs that you wouldn't believe, and I don't know how they do that, right? And it's just practicing. So there's very passionate people here in Costa Rica that we're all learning and in the process, and good guys, and we share good time with this. And there's a couple of places that have been growing like for tourism. Costa Rica typically is very known for like wildlife and landscape and all of that. There's a couple of places now that are trying to focus on like astrophotography because they're darker sites. So they're trying to mix like bird photography with other things.
I was contacted today by somebody down there who's interested in becoming a dealer for Explore Scientific. I believe they were in San Jose.
Yeah, it's growing. So I guess it's a good opportunity, Scott, for you guys also, because it's you probably would get surprised. There's a couple of also larger hotels that I've seen. We've stayed at the Four Seasons or Marriott's, and they have scopes. They've got some big means, and they let you use them and take pictures.
That's cool. That's very cool. Well, maybe next time I'm down in Costa Rica, I'll look you up, Tizoc, and we can make the rounds with the places that amateur astronomers like to go. That would be cool. A question from our group is what is polar alignment like for you down there? What's your latitude?
Okay, that was a nightmare, to be honest with you. Also in the beginning, especially with Costa Rica has mountains, right? So
yeah,
latitude 10 is you don't see much. Because it's really low, and sometimes because of the light pollution or just clouds or whatever. That was a challenge for me in the beginning. I used the ASI Air Pro or Nina, and those now have functionality that you can do polar alignment with anywhere in the sky, right? So it has been much easier. The other thing that I did that helped me a lot, because again, as I mentioned, it rains and weather is not perfect here in Costa Rica. So I typically have to put all my gear back in and out. What I did was in my garden, I set up some bricks. I installed that and pointed north. So it's pretty simple for me to take the rig out and just align and then fine tune and adjust. So if you can make some type of markings on where you're typically going to shoot or place your rig, and then it's much easier. And then again, with tools, there are many tools, right? From PoleMaster to Nina to ASI Air to a bunch of different things that help you in the process. But if you start with a good rough alignment, it's much easier.
Right.
So that's a beautiful picture right there.
Yeah, this one was more from the mountains, not from San Jose. It's like 2 hours away. It's called Monteverde. It's really nice also for bird photography, but a very dark zone that we went for year end. And you get to see all like the Pacific from the mountains. It's pretty far away, but we got good shots for the Leonard comet.
So how bright was that visually compared to this picture? Could you see it fairly well naked eye?
I think that's a Bortle 3. And it's like 2 hours from San Jose.
Yeah. So visually with your eye, how well could you see Comet Leonard?
Just a little dash. You couldn't see it like this.
Right. You could see that bright core basically is all, right? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Boy, I dream of a great comet, that stretches halfway across the sky like I've seen a couple of times. I want one so bad.
Yeah, me too. Actually, the first time I had never shot comets until this past December. And here there's a wind turbines, I guess you call them. I don't know how you call them. Sorry for my English.
Wind turbine. Yeah, that's good.
Wind turbines here in the mountains in San Jose, pretty high. I went with a friend from India that also likes astrophotography, and we were able to see. And this is kind of how we were able to see it, like a larger star with a little fuzzy thing right there. But that was all. So it was not much what we could see. But over there in Monteverde, I was able to get it much better and had more practice. But it was like a 2-month fast learning curve, and I was able to progress pretty fast with a comet. It was, again, if you're passionate about something, you'll progress really fast, I guess. this was another with Explore. That was one of the first tries I did in December. Remember, it was early December when I got my toy, and this was kind of almost the first light of those, or another try.
That's a year ago, right? When you say December, that's
No,
December.
it was December.
Was it? Okay. I can't remember. Time flies.
It was this past December. The first time I met you, I went for some Explore Scientific eyepieces.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I remember you coming into the shop as well. So hopefully you can make it back sometime.
Yeah, right now with everything like remote, I haven't traveled to Bentonville like in the past 2 years, but yeah.
The past 2 years, that's right. Well,
Mhm.
I know that, being that you work for Walmart, they have their international managers, party. And so it'll be good to see you back in town again sometime. So.
Yeah, the shareholders meeting and those. This was another one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
With the Explore Scientific. This one is if you've tried these, you have to use very light pollution filters. It won't work with a narrow band or things like that, or at least my experience has been almost no filter for the M45.
Getting that nebulosity is a challenge, I suspect. Tyler, have you tried M45? Tyler?
Tyler stepped away.
Oh, okay. I've been seeing there's been a conversation going on with a customer who's needing some support. So I suspect he's dealing with that. Okay. So, Annie, you need to try and take a picture of that because you're getting started in astrophotography with a DSLR.
I am getting started in astrophotography with the DSLR. We had some really good clear nights, but I found that my dovetail was still at work and not at my house. So I
Scott preaches when you're going on to a star party or out to somewhere, checklists.
The checklist. Absolutely.
Checklists.
Yeah.
And you
I've been over
verify
that with her. Yeah, I have been over that with her.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the full on setup, right next to your front door. Okay. Before you leave for, whether you're just going to go out to your backyard or you're going to go to your favorite dark sky observing site, full blown setup, the day before, turn it on, make sure everything works, tear it down, and then that you have everything. And, because Annie, I know that you have young ones and they are very interested in what you're doing, and you get interrupted, so that kind of distraction
100%.
is a little tough sometimes, but
100%.
it's the reason why you're doing it, right? I mean,
yeah. It's fun watching him get excited and interested in it. And so, especially when I can't wait till I start taking pictures like Tizoc here. I mean, golly, I'm just like, holy cow, they're absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, but he'll be, I mean, if I could barely get, Ryan's nebula in a picture and him go, what is that? I can't even imagine what he's going to do whenever I get a full blown picture showing major detail. So.
Richard Lighthill says, yep, make a checklist and make sure you put the checklist on your checklist. Nothing worse than leaving a simple tool or cable at home. And, most of us have had the experience where, we were missing the one thing that you really needed, to make the whole thing work together. So, but being in your backyard is of course, you're a very short distance away from getting what you need, so, but it's all about managing your time, because your time is extremely valuable, so, and you want it to be spent on, being as productive as you can. So
especially when it's freezing cold and you got to go outside. And
That's right. That's right.
I told Tyler, I was like, you should do a show on gear that you need to stay warm while doing astrophotography. But he has a man cave, so he doesn't really need that.
Did you see how Tyler was dressed? He looked like, you know, he had the earmuffs and he had everything, you know, so.
But he also has a heater.
And a heater. Yeah. You can't be an Astro Viking if unless you do it in just straight up cold weather, you know, outside, no heater. Gloves and jackets and stuff are allowed, but in the club I belong to, we would observe in the Anza Borrego Desert, and we had the term Astro Viking. And an Astro Viking was someone that could guide by hand, okay, a 90-minute shot. You know, this is back in film astrophotography, while sitting on a cactus in the freezing cold.
Holy cow.
If you could do that, you're an Astro Viking.
You probably weren't thinking about how cold you were because the
the pain of the cactus keeps the cold feeling away. Yeah, that's right.
You're in so much pain that you don't have to worry about how cold you are.
You don't care. That's right. So where did Tyler run off to?
We really did have a customer that reached out on Messenger.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool.
That needed
That's
some
cool.
support, and so
All right.
he probably is taking care of that, you know. So we've been a little, you know, MIA with being snowed into.
Oh,
our
yeah.
homes. So,
Yeah, we've had COVID issues and cold weather, you know, snow problems and stuff. Tizoc, are there more images that you'd like to show, or?
Yeah, like this one can give you an idea how low Polaris is.
That's
here.
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, look at that. It's right on the horizon.
That's crazy.
So it's really low. But the advantage is that we have access then to some of the lower things that you may not being up there in the north, right? But no, I guess those are the ones. I have a lot, but it's a lot of just practicing, as I mentioned before, learning a lot of bloated stars. Again, some of these filters tend to bloat the stars, right? So this is a challenge that, like the big stars right there, sometimes it's a challenge. This is another, there's a mountain here in Costa Rica where you typically can see the Pacific and the Atlantic from the top. It's a big hike and a very, very dark site. So you're not actually able to take all the gear because you have to walk like almost 10 miles to get to that place. It's like a journey, a very nice place, but it's just like for trackers or tripods and not a lot of things. So, but it's really, really, really nice. So there's places in Costa Rica that probably might be interesting for you to try sometimes. Again,
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And think,
I mean, look at the Milky Way. It's just like,
and the
it's
Milky Way.
beautiful. Now, another question. There was somebody wanted to know how far, you know, if you could see, let me see if I can find this question. Gorky, who's watching on Facebook, he says, your location is favorable to capture some objects in the Southern Hemisphere, for sure. Can you see the Cruz Australis constellation from Costa Rica?
Probably, yes. I've seen people, but for a very short period of time, right? So again, on the month, and it doesn't get very high. But yeah, I haven't tried that one, but yeah, it's definitely something on a dark side, higher, maybe possible.
Can you see the large and small Magellanic clouds from there?
Yes, I have a friend that just took the large clouds a couple of like a week ago. Yes, definitely. Yeah, you can see that.
That's one of the life bucket things I want to see. You know, just to see I know the pictures make it look much more dramatic than it is in the sky, but still.
Yep. But no, these are, and the most recent one is the one that I'm most proud of right now, because I guess it's the cumulative learning from a lot of different things, right?
yeah.
So I posted something like a month or so ago to share with friends, because sometimes they tell me, no, you're way out there, and say, I'm not. I'm just beginning, and I shared like my first M42 Orion like 1 year later, and then my current one, and it's like a progression, right? So
Yeah.
I guess as far as you keep learning and practicing, I guess it's all about that.
I'm amazed at it's fun to see people who have done, say M42, probably the most photographed thing in the sky, other than maybe the moon. And then come back a year later and the progress they made, and then see them go back and process that data from a year ago and how much better their skills are from just doing it, just like you are. You just keep doing it, and getting better and better and better at your craft. And the results just get to the change is spectacular.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And again, it's all about learning different things, right? Tweaking things. I guess a tip, don't delete your data, right? Just keep it. See, I know it's storage. Storage is cheaper now than was before, but you can always go back and reprocess with trying new things and see the progression. I typically keep both. Sorry, my dogs are here barking, but typically I sometimes, especially when it's cloudy or I can't do much, I just go back with my data, try different things on the processing side. So see if anything changed, and if it's still good data. Obviously, you have to be in focus, right? And you can't do much if you're out of focus to begin with. But if it's good data, you can always improve your processing.
How do you focus? Focus is a challenge for a lot of people. Do you have an automated focus?
I use a Batinov mask, depending on the one, and typically just bump up the gain on the camera so I have a brighter way to see the spikes. Typically here in Costa Rica, the temperature doesn't vary that much, so I just focus once or twice per night because of that. And I'm just trying to switch to an electronic focuser, especially for the bigger scope, but I haven't installed that yet. I need to do that, but it's manual focusing with Batinov masks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Great.
I don't.
Wonderful.
Tizoc, you've got an engagement to get off to here in a little while, so we tried to hold these to an hour to not go too long. And probably this one, Scott, what platforms do you broadcast on?
We are on Facebook on several pages. We're also on YouTube, YouTube has become increasingly the more popular platform for whatever reason. And then we are on Twitch and Twitter.
And Tizoc, these have a life of their own because they live on in perpetuity.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
These get seen a lot
sometimes
over
we
time.
have just a few people watching it live, but then in replay, gosh, we have videos that climb into the many thousands, depending on what the topics are and stuff as people search for them.
And Tyler has returned. Did you have a question for him?
Oh, I was going to ask him just to ask some technical questions that I'm not capable of because I don't do a lot of astrophotography. Haven't done it in years. I'm a film guy. When I did it, so long ago it's been. So done a little bit, but not a whole lot. But that's okay. You were troubleshooting the guy's Exos 100. It looked like, right? Did you get him up? Did you get him up and working?
Going to.
Okay.
How come you're freezing?
Because I was
Yeah.
outside the cold.
Oh, you're building like a snowman or something outside? There's
I
only
feel
about
like a
10 inches of
snowman.
snow outside.
That's
so-
real. That's really who the customer was his snowman outside.
Yeah.
Tizoc, I really appreciate you coming on at last minute. I wish I could have watched the whole thing. I'd like to get you on at a later date. Well, I'll get with Kent for contact information. So we'd like to have you back on for sure when it's not at the last minute.
Yeah,
So we can-
and also, Tizoc, we would like to invite you to participate in the Global Star Party. Those
Yes.
are on Tuesday nights, and we have astronomers from around the world. I don't have anyone from Costa Rica, but we have a contingent from Argentina, Chile, and Brazil. And so it'd be nice to have someone in Costa Rica. You know, I like to have all the Americas, kind of joined together. So I think that's very cool.
Count me in. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll add you to the Global Star Party list. We have guys that just give regular presentations. We also have other people that do live imaging, through their telescopes, and or other people that do like some sort of demonstration with image processing or something. So, but our next Global Star Party, we have themes, okay, and the theme of the next Global Star Party is simply orbits. Okay, so you'd be amazed at what the presenters come up with. So when we throw out a theme like that. All right.
I do see in the chat, Scott, that people are asking about the astrophotography contest.
Yes.
Gets,
and Annie, and what's that?
I said, when everybody gets back in the office, me and Annie are going to get together. We're going to pick a winner, and we'll get the winners announced next.
Annie is not mean. Why did you call her Mean Annie?
He calls me all kinds of things.
She's
Oh,
nice.
wait a minute.
Talking about.
He said me and Annie.
Not
as
me,
opposed to-
Annie.
Not me. It'd be Annie, and I.
Here in the South, the southern portion of the United States, we tend to run all of our words together. So that's it.
Did you? You didn't bring your truck, did you? Would you?
Tizoc.
Did you, would you? That's a new word I came
Did you,
up
would
with.
you? You've never heard of
Did you, would you? How do you spell that anyway? So
I don't know. I didn't even know I said it until Rob told me one day after a show that I said it on the show.
Tizoc is now saying, what are these people talking about?
No, remember I lived in Northwest Arkansas for about.
you live there. That's
He knows
right.
us too well.
So it's like I was born in Texas. Okay. As a boy, I had a deep Southern Texas drawl. Okay. Went to California, was teased beyond belief because of my accent. My accent gradually changed in California. Then I moved to the East Coast of, in Alexandria near Washington, D.C., different accent altogether. Came back to Texas, went up to Kansas, went back out to California. And in my adult life, I've spent a lot of time in Asia. Okay. So I remember when I hit about 40 years old, people were asking me, they were trying to catch on to my accent and they couldn't pin me down, including the people in Asia. They thought I was from France or something. So that's it. I just, I try to speak maybe a little slower, a little bit more, try to make the words not run together so bad.
Yeah, me
But
too.
it is fun to talk in the Southern accent. It is. So,
Yep.
and it doesn't take long for me to be down in Texas and pick that back up. Arkansas also has its accents for
Yes,
sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, but I'm glad you joined us, Tizoc, and we will definitely include you in that group on Global Star Party. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we had a person that was asking if any of us were answering our phone calls. I did explain that we had our office was affected with the Omicron variant of the coronavirus. I got it myself. But I've given out my mobile phone number to him. So if you'd like to call, text me, you can do that. Notice also too, we're often live each day. And if you have a question, technical question or any kind of question for our company, you can ask it right here in the live chat. You can see I've got all my experts here. So.
No,
No, you don't want to be the expert. Okay. Yes, my expert, Tyler and Annie. Yes,
Oh.
and Kent.
So we've been answering the phone all day. Customer service has the ability to answer their phones from their cell phone, and
Yes.
they've been doing that all day long.
Yes.
So that's been happening. It's just that sometimes there's so many calls we can't get to them all.
That's right. We have people that want to cover a lot of material too, and so sometimes it's not a 5-minute phone call. It can be a 30-minute phone call.
We also have chat on the website.
We have live chat. We have also these live shows, and we have cases, through our customer portal that we're working on all day long.
So let me share how to get there, because the guy that Tyler and I were working on, I was trying to send him there. Let me get this set up real quick. There we go. So let's just go to the homepage. All right, so here we go.
In the meantime, that you get to where you want to go, just want to reinforce, but again, Scott, that you have a great staff and team.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for the support they've given me, and I think
thank you.
All your customers will receive.
That's very kind. Thank you.
So for everybody who's watching, if you go to our homepage, explorescientificusa.com or explorescientific.com, and simply then scroll down to the bottom, and right here under support is customer portal. If you click customer portal and click submit a request, you create an account, and then in there you can tell us exactly what your problem is and exactly what's going on. And then that allows us to very easily document what's happening and to write out the answers back and forth. We can have conversations like a chat. It emails you, and then you can fill it out, and then it comes back to us. And that's how we try and route many of our requests. So one, there's a documented trail of what we're telling you and easy to refer back to for the customer. And it's easy for us to look at what they're saying and try and come up with a correct answer as well. So that's
Ken Noble wanted me to mention that we have a fabulous sale on our items right now, which is true. But when we do these shows, we're not here to try to do the hard sale here by any stretch of the imagination. We're here to help people understand things that they're doing, try to help them learn more. We try to find new people that are doing some great work like Tizoc here, which is awesome. There's so many aspects of our lifestyle and astronomy and exploration that, we are, of course, our website's there and we're happy to answer questions about it, but we don't do this as a sales show. So, but David Samar says, Scott, staff are the best in the industry, and this is on all the line service products. Thank you so much. That's very kind. We we do have, if you look on the Better Business Bureau, like any company, sometimes we get a complaint, but we are always responsive to these kinds of things. There's also many very nice 5-star reviews on there, which of course makes us all feel great, but that's the way we feel that everybody should be treated. And so, if you have a question, there's something that you feel that we're not doing that we can improve on, we're all ears. So please let us know. And so I think I said my bit here about customer service. Does anybody want to add anything else before we go? Tizoc, do you have a website, or is there anything that we can be sending people a Facebook page or something?
I don't have a site. I typically just share on Instagram. You can look at me at Tizoc Suarez. It's my first and last name on Instagram. It's not an astrophoto or anything like that. I share with mostly friends and family from
Okay.
work to astrophotography to landscape.
Sure.
And those. Mhm.
Do you do birding photography as well?
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Yeah, Scott, I heard him say that too. We do. I do. He's like, I do a birding show every Thursday at 4:00.
And we
Yeah.
get people that contribute that submit birding photos. So we'd love to see some from Central America.
Here-
That'd be great.
We have
Cool.
like more than 900 species of birds.
That's
Um,
Right. Wow.
It is fantastic. I enjoy that a lot. Let me see if I can show you. Well, the quetzal is a very nice bird. Fantastic bird. But you will see a lot of different. If I may share, like still a couple of things here. We're jumping to a different topic, I guess. But
Tizoc's going to be on a lot of future shows for birds now.
Uh-huh.
be careful what you're asking for.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
This is like
Oh,
not.
what is that?
That's
This
the
is
honey badger.
this is a not very common thing. Tolomuco is called.
Wow.
So like an eagle, a crested eagle nest.
Yeah.
That let me see if this thing comes.
You know, Tizoc, when I was in Arenal staying at the spa there, I mean, they have like a hotel and everything. I remember going outside and man, it just seemed like the jungle was just like right there. You could hear all kinds of jungle noises at night.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you just have to
I was going, I'm not walking too far out there.
bring a chair and just wait for them to come.
Yep. That's awesome. Beautiful. Look at that bird. That's a beautiful bird.
Yeah, the quetzal is something that is.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Let me. Well, I guess we're done with. Not sure.
Now, what were these all taken with, Tizoc?
I use Nikon, and
Mhm.
this one, I guess, my 200 to 500 lens.
Mhm.
Let me see if
Wow.
like
A
this.
parrot. Mm-hmm.
Look
Well,
at the
not
colors on that thing.
this is the
Is it a
quetzal.
parrot?
No. It's called quetzal.
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 Wow.
It's a fantastic bird. Really, really
Yeah.
nice.
So beautiful.
It's very, very colorful. It in the Aztecs, it goes from Mexico all the way to. I'm not sure exactly if it goes to
Wow. Look at that.
that
Wow.
that when in Aztec, in Nahuatl language, this used to mean the snake that flies. The males have like this huge long tail, and when they fly, you literally kind of see like a snake flying. So I got to understand that here in Costa Rica. I'm formerly
Sure.
from Mexico, but I learned that here in Costa Rica because it's like a huge tail. So when they fly, it like goes like this, and it's really, really nice. I have one like really nice a couple of months ago, but
Are they rare?
they're not that common. But here in Costa Rica, you get to see them in different places depending on the season, and yeah, it's a fantastic bird.
Wow. Tizoc, it looks like you are someone who loves nature in general,
Yes.
you know, whether it's daytime, nighttime, land,
Yeah.
sea, or sky. That's awesome.
Yep. I guess it's somewhere. Well, I don't know. It's
Lighting is tough. It looks like lighting is pretty tough because you're in rainforest,
It's in the
deep
jungle. Yeah.
Right.
very, very colorful bird.
Look at that. I mean, we don't
That's
have
amazing.
anything like that in North America.
Nothing.
We had some parakeets that are extinct, but they still don't come to that. I mean,
You
that's
guys are
just,
ruining future shows. Just saying.
nah, we're not ruining them at all.
Those are gorgeous birds. Man.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. And actually, I got to this place in Arenal. Well,
Nine-bedded armadillo, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I had one of those things come up to
Yeah.
me when I was looking at Comet Neowise, right behind the Explore Scientific building. He came right up to my shoe.
They're
I
blind.
aimed my red flashlight down at him, and he stood up. The thing was, a little over a foot high.
we were to look for the Quetzal, and then behind us was this guy like saying, "Hey, why are you looking for the Quetzal if I'm right here?" And if you notice, he's got like a squirrel right there.
Yeah, you can
Oh
see the
my
leg.
gosh.
Yeah, you can see the leg on it
geez.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had
Hey.
his lunch.
It's the circle of life.
Mhm.
So Scott, armadillos are blind. We had
They're
to
not
rescue-
blind.
They're blind.
They're not
Yeah.
blind, but
They can't really see, but we had to rescue one out of our pool that we had in.
I would think they could
Westport.
at least smell. I mean, if they're
Yeah.
if
Well, they can
they're
smell.
sight impaired, they must be able to smell good.
they
They're-
have very poor vision.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
gorgeous.
usually-
Tizak.
This is
they usually feel along the ground, and you can put stuff down to, like, if you have problems with one, you can put stuff on the ground to like herd them into a certain direction.
is that a
I see.
moonbow? Is that a moonbow, Tizoc?
That it's a moonbow, yes. Actually, in
And there's a
Monteverde,
double.
in something like this, I was trying to shoot my night time lapses and things, and then it was like a very, very thin, moist rain type thing. The
Wow.
moon was behind us, and we got to see this rainbow like all night long. It was just fantastic.
Wow, really pretty.
It almost looks like there's a secondary bow in there.
Yep.
Just right there, just a little bit. Wow.
There is. It's not almost. There definitely is.
Come down to Costa Rica.
Yeah, Kent, you need to go down there.
I need to go check on the new dealer.
You need to go check on your dealer down there.
I can write that expense off.
You might be able to.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to leave at least some more stuff, although I think Tizoc has probably a lot more stuff to show us in the future. So, but I do want to thank the audience who's watching around the world. Thank you for, Pekka says, did I see his question? I might have missed it. Pekka, what's your question here?
Better get it.
Hi, Pekka. Tizoc,
Where's your
Pekka,
question?
Pekka is in Stockholm, Sweden.
Do you guys see Pekka's question?
Annie,
Oh,
what's the question?
can I add lights?
I don't know.
Can
what
I
the
add lights to
question is.
data with difference, dithering, distance, and sequence? That's a question for
No.
Tizoc. Oh, you
Say,
can.
say again.
Can I add lights? I'm imagining that he's talking
Different
about
light.
luminance
Yeah.
to data with different dithering, distance, and sequence.
Why would the dither be different though?
And
I don't know.
lights. Not sure. I
Is the focal length?
He's talking about the luminance frames.
Yeah.
I believe.
Has the focal length changed between the two different sets? Pekka.
Yeah, Pekka, distance of pixels.
If the focal length is changed, or if the exposure's changed between the light sets, you can do it because there's people that can do it with Orion. Orion's nebula, people blow out the core all the time. But if you take short exposures at a different night versus long exposures a different night to kind of balance out the core when you process, you could do it that way. The other problem you're going to run into is if you don't have if you have a manual tilt or if you don't have a rotator, sorry, I meant rotation, not tilt. The tilt's going to be off a little bit because depending on how the difference is that the night differences that you shoot, the rotation is going to be off just a little bit. So the program's going to try to recorrect it, and you're going to have to crop in on the image a little bit because your framing is going to be different as well. I don't
Pekka
know.
says, no, it's the distance of pixels and in how often I want it to dither. He says, I mean, how many pixels it dithers.
Typically,
James Astro says, try it and see what happens.
yeah, I dither a couple of pixels up to 10, and it helps reduce the noise on different frames. But again, I guess it depends on, you can do it every other frame or every frame. I typically do it like every 10 frames, just because I don't want to waste a lot of time in the meantime that the mount again settles and moves and all of that. It starts to add up depending on the length of your exposures. So I typically do a couple of pixels and typically 5 or 10 frames. But I guess you can try different things and just compare eventually in your processing if the noise goes away or stays fixed, and try, depending, I guess it depends on your gear and a bunch of different things, I guess.
Yeah. He says in DSLR, I get lines all over the picture.
That
Then
could be planes, it could be satellites.
you need to, well, and you need to, they have noise, right? If you're taking very exposures, I would recommend you to take your flats and you take your darts, so you can really subtract all of that noise, especially from DSLR cameras.
Yep. Pekka, maybe you can submit. Why don't you try this? Submit some of your photos where you have these problems, and we have a group of people that we can run them past and have them really kind of do a inspection of your image and then give you the best direction to go. So
Yeah, it'd be the easiest option.
Yeah,
that would be. But who would he email them to, though, Scott? You didn't give him an email address.
well, there's always Tyler at explorescientific.com.
There it is. That will work just fine.
And Pekka said he just sent it to me, so I'm going to be forwarding over to you. So there you go. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching our show today. Tizoc, thank you for coming on and saving our Friday. For all of you, Tyler, Kent, and Annie, have a great weekend. For all the rest of you, keep looking up. Come back on Monday for How Do You Know? On Tuesday, we've got Open Go-To Community and Global Star Party with the theme of orbits. So take care and thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.